Nowitzki. Fall away as Duncan came to help, and David Robinson, who returned after a long rest on the Spurs bench, has another rebound.
San Antonio doing a great job on the defensive boards, even though Dallas is not a very good rebounding team.
Duncan lobbed it to Robinson. Couldn't quite control it. It comes back to Duncan, and he puts it home.
The two big guys just toying with the Dallas front line that play.
Big smile on Duncan's face as he came back up court. Now he points to himself as he looks at David Robinson and said, "My fault." He was grinning like, well, that's just the way we practiced it, that play.
He threw it a little bit too high. David would have to be about 8 feet tall to get that one.
Bounced around and right back to Duncan, who scored his 16th point. Nowitzki posting Smith. No match there as Nowitzki lays it in on the finger roll, and Dirk has 15.
Don Nelson's always been known as a mismatch coach. He loves to take advantage of mismatches. He's got a field day with this roster.
Smith pick and roll to Duncan, who was wide open, couldn't get the ball to him. Now has the friends on his hip. And one for Tim Duncan.
Well, he defended him physically, and he fouled him, and it didn't make any difference. So what are you going to do against this guy, Tom?
Four of them offensive rebounds, and the Mavericks as a team do not have a single offensive rebound so far in the game.
Well, that's a mismatch, and there's a mismatch on the other end. Dirk Nowitzki, he's already got 15 points and 6 rebounds because of the versatility. He takes the smaller Steve Smith down under right there. You've got another, they list him at 6'11". He's a 7-footer who can shoot the three, who runs the floor, who makes his free throws, makes his three-point shots. That's a mismatch. Don Nelson lives by the mismatches. He can put a whole bunch of point guards on the floor. He's got arguably the two most versatile big men in the league in Rafe LaFrentz and Dirk Nowitzki. Tom Tolbert has it exactly right. You cannot match up against either of these teams.
Yeah, they present such matchup nightmares for their opponents. But led by Duncan, who now has 20, San Antonio's in the midst of a 7-2 run. Their lead is 5. Finley. Buckner with the first offensive rebound of the game for Dallas. LaFrentz challenged David Robinson, held him off to score his first bucket.
Yeah. San Antonio was looking for the offensive foul, a little bit of a wipeout with his right hand from Rafe.
High screen sent by Duncan, gets it from Parker. Tim Duncan.
December 26th, he went for 53 points in this building. He's headed that way again, Tom.
22 with 2 minutes left in the half. Finley short on the fall away. Another offensive board, though, this one by Nowitzki. Nash for 3. Robinson hauls it down. The Admiral doing a good job on the defensive glass.
Tim's underneath with small guys on him.
Nash was guarding Robinson and got him on the elbow.
Ray Allen finally back for the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday. Tom, it'll be interesting to see how quickly Shaquille O'Neal back on the floor for the Lakers.
Nash missed the shot, the pushing and shoving underneath, and a foul called on Steve Smith, who's lucky he didn't get teed up by Leroy Richardson.
Well, we played 22 minutes and Dallas didn't get an offensive rebound. Now 3 consecutive possessions. They've done a good job on the offensive boards.
Steve Smith called for the push underneath on Buckner. That's the 3rd foul on Smith. Nowitzki gets a rest on the Dallas bench.
I think Nelly's perfect team would be all 7-footers and point guards.
Well, if you can get them that are as versatile as Dirk Nowitzki, then why not?
Give me some point guards, give me some left-handed point guards, give me some 7-footers, and give me about 5 or 6 international players.
60-second double-double as Avery Johnson and Nick Van Exel visit on the Dallas bench. 8 o'clock Eastern time on Tuesday on TBS. Doubleheader, the Sixers and Bucks, followed by the T-Wolves and Kings. Coming up Tuesday on TBS.
Sixers and Bucks struggling with injuries right now.
Inside the final minute. Just forced up and in. Unbelievable shot by Michael Finley. Finley was in deep trouble.
9.5 degree of difficulty on that one.
It's been feast or famine for Michael. 5 of 6 in the first quarter.
Dallas is going to have to let Bruce Bowen borrowed their free throw shooting coach.
I think it'll take more than a coach. Take a complete revamping. Now that one bounced 3 times and through.
Shooter's touch.
Deflected out of bounds by Daniels as the Spurs hustle back on defense.
There's more long passes. There's more plays that look like football. Defensive backs running into plays because you see so many long passes in a game when the Dallas Mavericks are playing.
37.5 on the clock. San Antonio's biggest lead has been 10 in the first quarter. Shot clock at 5. Nash against Parker. Lost control. Here's a run out for Daniels. Mavs hold for the final shot. Finley. Minus 16 when he's not in the game as Nahara goes to the bench. And Van Exel on the court trying to spark the Mavericks as he did in the first half.
Well, he's not waiting to get the bench in play. Both Avery Johnson and Van Exel really did a good job in the first half, and they're on the floor early second half.
Shot clock at 2. Nowitzki for 3. Got it at the shot clock buzzer. Clutch shot by Nowitzki has 20.
That point leads disappear quickly when you're making three-point shots, and Dallas among the best in the league from the perimeter.
Parker, air ball.
Tony Parker wasn't sure he wanted to take that shot. He was so open he knew he should, but his heart wasn't in it. The result showed.
Avery Johnson lobbing to LaFrenz. Couldn't muscle it in. Robinson got a piece. Duncan with the outlet to Parker. And the Mavericks get back on defense. Duncan. Tapped in by Robinson.
Dirk Nowitzki did a good job defending Tim Duncan. When one big guy shoots it, though, you better put a body on the other big man.
The Admiral has 8. Avery Johnson, the no-look, played in by LaFrenz from Avery Johnson.
Avery's penetration is killing San Antonio. Greg Popovich screaming at Tony Parker. He's got to keep Avery Johnson in front of him.
5 shots apiece. Dallas has hit one more. Parker off his foot and out of bounds.
Tough play. Tim would have been better off hanging on to the ball himself.
Here's penetration again by Johnson. Kicks to Finley. Nowitzki against Duncan. Good D by Duncan. LaFrenz gets tangled up with Bowen underneath, and Bruce Bowen called for the foul.
Dirk Nowitzki lurks on the perimeter. You can't leave him. Tim Duncan went down under to help on Rafe LaFrenz. Nowitzki's going to make the shot. That's pretty good defense there, but you see both big men paying attention to Tim Duncan. David Robinson gets the tip in.
Bruce Bowen committing his 3rd foul, and a carry called on Michael Finley.
Tom, we talk so much about Tim Duncan, all the things he does. You forget about his defense. He's a perennial first-team all-defensive player. At prior possession, he did a great job defending Dirk Nowitzki out 25 feet away from the basket.
3-time on the All-NBA first-team defensive team. There's another defensive stalwart, David Robinson, muscling it up, and it rolled away into the arms of Nowitzki.
David Robinson is assertive inside. San Antonio can play with anybody in this league.
Nowitzki, fall away, tough shot. Came off to Duncan. Nowitzki with that last rebound has 10 and a double-double. 12 rebounds for Duncan. Parker gets around LaFrenz in the mismatch, and then Duncan muscling it up, and Van Exel, coming on the double team, commits the personal foul.
Well, it didn't look pretty. Dallas got caught in a rotation. You saw Rafe LaFrenz trying to guard Tony Parker. Tony goes in, Van Exel helps him out. Now you're going to see 2 or 3 people going at Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan gets the ball that close to the basket. You just got to hope he misses the shot or else put him on the free throw.
Classic NBC stars from some of your favorite series and special events on the NBC 75th anniversary special. That's coming up in May. Just under 7 minutes left, third quarter. San Antonio's biggest lead has been 11. But Avery Johnson, the former Spur, keeping the Mavericks in it. He has 7 points. His penetration has been the big factor for the Dallas comeback.
Avery Johnson continues to attack Tony Parker. So he showed the pick and roll. He made Tony think he was going to use the Rafe LaFrenz screen. And instead, I said he's left-handed. He put the ball on the floor the other way. Beat him on the baseline.
Last foul called on Rafe LaFrenz, his third. And Daniels, the jump stop, off-balance shot, not a good one. Rebounded by Nowitzki as a Spur Rose went sailing out of bounds, and there's Avery Johnson, that man again. The former Spur just takes it to the basket relentlessly.
Tom, Greg Popovich's hands are tied. He wants to play Jason Hart, but he didn't look good in the first half. He doesn't want to use Antonio Daniels at the point. The real answer is Terry Porter sitting in street clothes.
Double team of Duncan. They make him give it up. 5 to shoot. Daniels, floater. Rebounded by Nowitzki. Lucky that Daniels didn't get called for a foul. Finley.
Good job by Bruce Bowen. He closed on Michael Finley. A big part of the San Antonio game plan. Run at the shooters on the perimeter. Don't let them get three-point looks. Make them put it on the floor.
Duncan against Nowitzki, who got a hand on it and deflected it out of bounds. Back to the Spurs with 8 to shoot as Nowitzki takes a tumble.
Too much penetration. That's the theme of this game. Avery Johnson continues to break down the San Antonio defense.
Parker lobs it into Bowen. 5 to shoot. Bowen over Nowitzki, a tough shot, and Nowitzki clears.
Too close. Bruce is more comfortable deep.
14 rebounds for Nowitzki to match Duncan. Van Exel launches and scores.
That time they defended the pick and roll or dribble handoff as well as you could, but Nick just made a tough shot.
That three-pointer gives him 11 in the game with 4 minutes to go in the third, and the Mavericks back within 1. 7-0 run by Dallas. Malik Rose. Van Exel. Van Exel nearly pulled that one off his knee and made it.
Spurs, they are really struggling for someone else to help out Tim Duncan.
Smith picked up his 4th foul on the first play of the third quarter. And they changed that foul now, PJ. They charged it to Michael Finley instead of Dirk Nowitzki. Duncan sinks the second, and it's the Spurs by 1, 60-59.
Well, the game is at San Antonio's speed, but Dallas has control of it right now in the second half.
Van Exel. Daniels chases it down. Duncan and Parker filling the lanes. Duncan with a jam. A throwdown on the break for Tim Duncan.
He has a checklist, Tom, before the game. What should I showcase? The jump shot, the dunk, the run the floor, to handle the ball, to block the shot, to make the assist.
Tim was Duncan, and he has 26.
Up. Dirk Nowitzki wisely gets out of the way. That's how he's going to stay at 2 personal fouls. Nothing you can do when Tim Duncan is that close to the basket, only to a point.
Duncan lurking, so they had to pitch it back out. Van Exel penetrates, and LaFrance short arms the shot.
Rafe really struggling today. He's got to finish inside. He had the ball twice a foot away from the basket.
Rose attacking LaFrance. And LaFrance called for the foul. And then he's teed up.
Nelly's upset, but again, Pop with a good move. He goes to Malik Rose. We talk about Steve Smith being in foul trouble. He's not on the floor. Malik Rose is somebody who's deal for your power forward. Now I'll push it up the floor. Little bounce pass, and Antonio Daniels fills the lane. Mark didn't like that one as much.
San Antonio has scored just 4 field goals in the second half, and they still lead. Back tapped by Rose. Still San Antonio ball. Intercepted by Johnson.
The Duncan's not on the floor, but it's still packed in, the Dallas defense. Antonio's got to recognize that.
Tim Duncan getting a rare rest on the sideline. First time that Duncan has been out of the game today. Van Exel lost it.
Bruce Bowen reached around and poked it away.
Daniels back to Bowen, hits Ferry for 3.
That's what San Antonio needed. Somebody else to make a shot. Danny Ferry from the perimeter.
9-point lead.
Ferry and Nowitzki really going at it. Danny has his hands full with that matchup.
Finley in trouble. Got rid of it to Nowitzki. He's fouled by Ferry. Oh, it went in!
Same call we saw before. Avery Johnson against Tim Duncan. Marty McCutcheon, the official, said he was on the floor. I don't know.
Foul before the shot. Shades of Larry Johnson in the playoffs. Oh, he just threw that one up there. It was a 3-point hook. But no basket. Dallas has it, still down by 9.
Now he's calling a play. He wants to isolate Michael Finley against Malik Rose.
Finley, ball fake, 1 to shoot, got it away, and hit it.
Spurs looking for the 24-second call.
They won't get it. Basket good. The second time Finley has hit a circus shot up against the shot clock.
Nelly loves his mismatches.
Malik Rose. Robinson, offensive board, draws the foul as he takes it back up. Wang Zhuzhu, 7'1" from China. First appearance for the Mavericks. Van Exel, nice fake. Gets it to Finley. It was a 3-second violation called, a defensive 3-second. Here's the Dallas remaining schedule. They have 7 games left.
In 10 days, that's brutal. 3 back-to-backs right there, Tom. 5 of them against playoff teams. 3 home and 4 away. That is a tougher schedule than San Antonio has confronting them.
Nowitzki hits the technical foul on the defensive 3-second violation.
But this game today, much more important because they could really open up a gap. Dallas could if they can find a way to pull this one out.
Avery Johnson again works his way inside. Can't finish. Missed the shot. And the Admiral has 9 rebounds.
Greg Popovich screaming at Antonio Daniels. You played against him all last year. Can you keep Avery Johnson in front of you?
Well, Tony Parker couldn't. Now Antonio Daniels can't. Bowen dishes to Rose. Nice pass from Bruce Bowen.
Great play by Bruce Bowen. Penetration in the dish.
Wang Zhuzhu can hit the 3, but that one's short.
It's so short, it carried right back to Dallas.
Finley penetrates. Kicks it to Johnson. Nowitzki went flying and sort of distracted everybody. And the shot no good.
Well, there's the difference. If Steve Nash is on the floor, he's going to launch a three-pointer right there, and he's one of the best in the NBA.
Nash has not been able to play in the second half with the flu. Rose. Rose wins the battle for the loose ball, and then Daniels with a shot clock at 1 misses a long 3. Rebound to Rose. Spurs retain.
Greg Popovich wanted him to pull it out. He knows this is a huge possession.
Malik Rose. No basket. 3-second violation.
We may have the record for 3-second violations, offensive and defensive today, Tom. Bruce Bowen curls around the defender. He draws the help from Dirk Nowitzki, and he finds Malik Rose for the easy finish.
There's Bowen, who made the assist. He's the defensive stopper for the Spurs. Made a nice offensive play there. Tony Parker back at the point, replacing Daniels for the Spurs. Van Exel immediately takes him to the basket and scores.
And Greg Popovich immediately calls a timeout, and he is not too thrilled with Tony Parker's defense.
Over 3.5 minutes. Parker misses a 3. And Van Exel the other way. Finley for 3. Robinson made sure that's his 10th rebound.
3 for 17. Dallas is not going to back off the three-point shot.
Duncan doubled. Fall away off the target. And rebounded by Buckner, who's returned for Dallas.
Saw the graphic there, Tom. Spurs did a great job with Tim Duncan resting on the bench.
Dallas launching threes every time down now. Van Exel misses 1. Robinson another rebound and gets it to Parker.
Plenty of time left for Dallas to get back in this game, particularly the way San Antonio's struggling offensively.
Parker penetrates, dishes, Ferry for 3.
Danny Ferry is so important to the San Antonio Spurs because when you double the big guy, Ferry can hurt you from the perimeter.
Back to a double-digit lead. Ferry has 8 points. He's hit a pair of three-pointers and a couple of technical free throws. Finley lost it, but right to Nowitzki, who was fouled by 4.
More comfortable playing against his international partner, Steve Nash. Instead, Steve Nash gets hurt. The All-Star goes out, and Van Exel and Avery Johnson have lit him up.
4 minutes, 40 seconds remaining.
Dallas sits in the zone. They want San Antonio to shoot it from the perimeter.
3 to shoot. Wang deflected it out of bounds. The Spurs get it back with 1 on the shot clock.
And it's a home shot clock, so it'll be a generous 1 second.
Thank you. Tim Duncan wouldn't go. Nowitzki to Finley.
That's a big play right there. San Antonio caught with their entire team underneath the free throw line on that inbounds play. Nobody back, and Dallas took advantage.
Finley has 18. Dallas led by Nowitzki with 23. 18 Finley, 16 Van Exel. Duncan fouled by Wang Juju as the Spurs go back to their money.
Another good entry pass by Bruce Bowen right there. Dirk Nowitzki, as soon as he got the ball, realized there's no San Antonio Spur even in the backcourt. That's the guard's job. You can't let...
Two-time All-American from Kansas, has had an up-and-down career since being taken as the 3rd player in the '98 draft. Career average of 13 coming over from the Nuggets. Look at the 39 free throws to 15.
Well, coming into this game as they finally get a three-pointer to drop, Wang Juju. San Antonio had attempted 39 more free throws in 3 games against the Dallas Mavericks. But today, even worse, 4 for 20 for the best three-point shooting team in the NBA.
Wang Juju is a good three-point shooter. Parker, the penetration, the dish to Duncan, missed it right underneath.
He was too close, actually. He was almost underneath the basket.
Wang Juju is spotted for the 3. Instead, it's Nowitzki. That shot was way off. Finley, though, chases it down.
Dallas is one possession away from climbing right back in it. They can't get it to fall.
Steve Javie calls the timeout. Something to do...
whether the 24-second clock should have been reset.
They reset it to 19.
Two Spurs couldn't come up with that defensive rebound, giving Dallas another opportunity to creep back in it.
Van Exel around Parker again. They help out and one. Van Exel a three-point opportunity.
The old-fashioned three-point play.
But first we'll have a timeout. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left. Dallas on an 8-2 run. Van Exel trying to shoot him back in
time, and surprisingly, their defense has helped them get back in it, and this is without all-star point guard Steve Nash for the entire second half.
On the other hand, Steve Smith of San Antonio, who averages 12 a game, has not scored and has been on the bench in foul trouble as Bruce Bowen, of all people, hits a tough shot.
We talked about his defense. That's double-figure points for Bowen this afternoon.
Van Exel. Van Exel for three. He has 22 points. And the Spurs lead cut to 2 with 1:35.
We knew it was going to come down to the last possession. At least we got that part correct.
Well, the shootout, but not a shootout. Not the high scoring they had been, but close nevertheless. Duncan, low block, double team. Nowitzki got a piece of it. On the floor, taken away from Duncan. Van Exel leads the Dallas break. Nowitzki calling for it. Spurs, though, match up. Van Exel shot blocked by Parker.
Van Exel always wants to take the big shot. I'm not sure that time he shouldn't have fouled Dirk Nowitzki.
A minute left.
Dallas sits back in the zone.
Danny Ferry for three. Finley, tough shot, back rim, he got his own, and then slapped away. Finley, tough shot, back rim, he got his own, and then slapped away from Wong Juju, who commits the foul.
Dallas only with 14 turnovers, but that is more than usual for them. You see Danny Ferry's numbers. San Antonio missed Danny Ferry and Bruce Bowen so much. Bruce Bowen has defended. He's come up with 10 points today.
30.4 seconds left.
He needs this one to make it a two-possession game, Tom, where 2 3-pointers could tie it up.
Couldn't get it. Nowitzki scored 8 points the last 7 minutes. He has the ball here as he spins and scores. It was Van Exel that they went to, and he delivered.
And they were able to go for the 2-point shot because of those 2 missed Bruce Bowen free. Going to be charged with the timeout, but they also lost the opportunity to play quickly.
Van Exel nearly lost it. Bowen, the defensive stoppers on him, and fouls him on. Nearly banked in from 3-point range. Wow.
And
3-point shooting.
The problem with 3-point shooting, Dallas's strength has not come through, but they're still very much in it. The Spurs' strength free throw shooting has. They're going to need a little bit more of it.
First 2 go down for Van Exel. 1 more to come as Robinson returns for the Spurs.
That's for rebounding. Greg Popovich wants rebounders on the floor now, and then he's going to want ball handlers and free throw shooters.
Van Exel, 6 of 7 at the free throw line. 1 more to come. He could make it a 1-point game. 14.7 on the clock. 1-point game. Clutch free throws by Van Exel. At stake is the Midwest Division lead. If the Spurs can win, the Dallas lead cut to a half game. If Dallas can win the game, they go up 2.5.
Got to get the ball in bounds first.
To Duncan. Avery Johnson fouls him immediately. And the Mavericks, as a team, attempted 19. He hits the second. Timeout. 13.7 seconds. Nowitzki off a screen. spinning on Rose. Fall away. Good! Memory went out in foul trouble the first play of the third quarter and has not scored in the game. The Mavericks, in the midst of that 19-9 run that's carried them to a tie. 7.9 seconds. Danny Ferry's also back.
Missed free throws a big part of that run.
Got to get it in. Timeout. 7.9 seconds. Tie game.
Forget Dallas with no timeout. They're going to have to play.
Duncan against Nowitzki. 3 seconds. Duncan shoots. Good! Tim Duncan! 2 seconds left. Van Exel from backcourt. And the Spurs win.
Tim squares up. Dirk Nowitzki. That's pretty good defense right there. He reaches in. Tim Duncan cashes it. He had the last shot to beat the Los Angeles Lakers last week. It didn't go, regardless of whether he was fouled or not. This afternoon, Tim Duncan has the answer.
7.9 seconds left. San Antonio has trouble getting it in, spends their last timeout, and then they go to their money player, MVP candidate Tim Duncan, who finishes with 33 points, 16 rebounds, and 5 assists, including the game winner with 2.3 seconds left.